You talked about a rocket attack, man. I know one of the things that you told me, and you've said it actually during the podcast too, is, if you guys weren't out doing movements, you guys were training. So you guys spent a lot of time in the range, and I know you guys were constantly getting rocketed, and you had a pretty interesting story. You guys got somebody pretty hurt.
Yeah, there were several times where, morning, noon, and night, we would just get rocketed on a constant basis. And again, you just never know where they're gonna hit. I was woken up 04 in the morning. I remember incoming, 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 and it was so loud. I was dead asleep. I rolled out of my bed like stiff, just to get down to the ground, and I felt it rumbled. It was so freaking close. One hit on a bunker, direct hit, and we had like almost like an L-shaped Connex boxes, 2-story high, and we had one of our guys get hit pretty bad. Derek Wright, he got hit while on the computer Skype with his wife, and he got pretty bad brain injury. And I was there in country, but one of my good buddies and other good dudes helped get him, it was second story, get him down into the cache, and man, that dude survived, and he had to learn to walk and talk all over again. Been through hell and back, and is alive today, man. I didn't know him personally. We worked on different teams when we supported each other, but man, his story is crazy. There was a range in the green zone, and our team was there, all fully kitted, and we were training. There was some Marines there. We had some BFOCers there, basically where the State Department approved firearms instructors, right? But they were Blackwater guys, so they were red shirts, wearing red shirts. The rest of us were kitted up, going through some training. It wasn't qualification. I think it was kind of like sustainment training. It may have been qualification, man. I don't really remember, but we're there kitted up, Peltors on, so we could still hear. And man, it was in between volleys. We're at the 15-yard line, in between volleys, and I hear it, and people are like, you don't hear rockets, you hear mortars because it's more of a up and down as opposed to, man, we heard this rocket. Only reason why I know it was a rocket was because of the shrapnel we found. It was a 107 millimeter rocket. 15-yard line, and we're in between volleys, and man, I hear it, and I'm not the only one to hear it. I was on the 2-yard line, so from the left to right, and I heard it. It was coming in, man. And immediately after we all heard it, incoming, incoming, it was loud as day, man. And the alarm went out, the CRAM went off, and incoming, incoming, man, we start hoofing it towards the targets, towards the overhang over the targets that wasn't it wasn't cover. It was wood, it wasn't protected. It wasn't even sandbagged on the top of the roof, but we're running towards what we perceive as cover. And I remember 2-yard line, or on the 2-lane target lane. As soon as I go in between 2 and 3, I look back and I see the impact, man. The impact hits at the 15-yard line in front of the 15-lane target. We're just at the 15-yard line. I think Kobe was closer to that than I was, opposite side. And I get to what I perceive as cover. We get down, man, impact. I saw the black smoke. I heard the impact. And we're still getting incoming, but it's different areas. Man, I looked to my left, I looked to my right. Everybody was self-aiding, buddy-aiding. It was probably, I don't know, proudest moment because people knew what to do. So self-aiding, buddy-aiding. I looked to my right where my buddy Superfly was, which was on the 1-lane target, furthest away. And he's not there. And I started hearing screaming, I'm hit. I look down, man, 3-yard line. He's on the ground. And I'm like, F-. So apparently he dropped his pistol at the 3-yard line when it impacted, and he got shrapnel. He got femoral. He got spine on the back. He's wearing plates. So the shrapnel was like, embedded in the plates on his plate carrier, but couldn't move. I was the closest one. I'm like, oh crap, I'm the closest one, man. So this is before, I keep saying, we don't know what we don't know as far as training is concerned, man, but simple like lifts, carries, and drags. Like I went old school, like not alert, because we teach that in all of our programs. how to do a one-man lift or a one-man drag. I went under the armpits and just try to go hand to hand instead of wrist to wrist and get that leverage. And man, his arms kept sliding out. We're fully kitted. I'm fully kitted. I put my rifle on my back, and man, probably maybe a few feet as I was trying to drag him. And mind you, we had to step up to get to the cover. One of our snipers, man, Chad, comes and gets the feet. And so we drag him to cover, put him under cover, perceived cover, wasn't cover. And man, I take out a tourniquet. I throw it to another one of our teammates, young dude, man. We called him a Wahoo. It was a Wahoo because he was a young kid, Army guy from Hawaii. Brad was his name. Young dude, man. So I took out my tourniquet, threw it to Brad to my right, and Chad was assisting. I cut open the pants to see where the injury was. Femoral bleed, man. From what I remember, I remember excruciating pain, man. And so we started helping him put the tourniquet on. Shift lead was, I think even Kobe may have said, we need a vehicle. We're still taking incoming. None of them were that close, but they were close. They're like outside of the berms. And one of our guys went to go grab a vehicle. You got an award for that. Went to go grab a vehicle, brought it to the range. We loaded him up, and they took him to the cache. So he thought he was going to die. He thought, tell my mom I love her. Tell my son I love him.
What was it like looking into his eyes, knowing he was scared?
So it was tough, man. He was your typical machismo Italian dude, man. Marine. He was a fast Marine. He was an extreme sports guy, so loved doing the extreme sports, He was a talker, I mean, wore the gold necklaces just like your typical, Italian dude.